Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mitzie again, joining you with another lesson of Patwah, and we're at lesson number 5. And again, I just want to say welcome. Thanks for joining, and hello to every one of you wherever you're joining us from. And again, I'm going to just give you a brief introduction to what we're going to be doing here. First, we'll do the history of Patwah, and then we'll go into the warm it up session, which gives you phrases, maybe proverbs, greeting words in Patwah. And then we'll move on to Name It Up, which is introduction of a folk song, and I might introduce maybe the Nancy stories also, and maybe poems, and we'll go through that, and then we'll give the meaning of the words within the folk song or within whatever I introduced to you in Name It Up. And then the third session would be Spit It Out, where you're able to comment in the section below, in the comment section, where you are able to ask questions, or you can comment on anything you wish to comment about regarding Patwah. And the fourth session would be Brata. And this is something I just recently introduced, and we will talk about anything that is like current affairs or anything I wish to write about, and then we'll end the lesson. So again, I just want to welcome you, and I hope you had a good week, and looking forward to the coming week, and hopefully everything is well with you all. Now we'll go into the lesson. Introduction to Patwah. And today I thought we would talk about the Cromanti language, which is a deep Patwah. And the Cromanti language, this is a deep Patwah which is spoken by Maroons in Jamaica since about the 17th and 18th century. It is said that this language originated in Ghana and is deeply rooted in the Akan language from the Akan people. Cromanti is formerly the mother language of Jamaica. Cromanti is similar to the Creole language of Suriname. And that I need to go into further because this is new to me. Coromantee is derived from the name of a Ghanaian coastal town. The Coromantans came from Akan slaves, which includes several ethnic groups like and I might be pronouncing these words incorrectly, like the Asante, Fante, Bono, and Yoruba. The chief language spoken by the Akan in Ghana is similar to Cromanti, which is the deep Patwah in Jamaica. And I did some research, and I was able to get some, some things that the Cromanti language, which some of it is, I think I have two of them here. One says Yosabi, and the standard English would be, do you understand? And the Patwah would be, you understand or you overstand. And there's another phrase or saying that the Cromanti language, that is used in the Cromanti language, and it says, you all sabi something, or you all sabi sati, and I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. And it means you have to understand something. And in Patwah, it means you have to understand something. And I just want to give a footnote. Anansi's stories, which were very popular folklore among older Jamaicans, came from Akan people of Ghana. And I just stopped a little bit to get away that sound. Okay. Come from the Akan people of Ghana and was told to teach morals. And we have a lot of these Anansi stories that we learned a lot from when we, as children in Jamaica. I'm not sure if these stories are still being told in Jamaica, but I'm sure a lot of people remembers many of these stories. And we'll move on to slide number 2, which is Warm It Up. And these are popular Jamaican sayings. And I'm going to run through them real quickly. I will not give you the meaning of all of them, but I'll give you a few. And Bunununus. And bunununus is an endearing word. It's something to say, oh, that's my bunununus. I love that person. You know, I guess it's coming from the word bonus, bonus, extra, more. So it's like my bunununus, my friend, my best friend, my endearing friend. And small up yourself. It's like when you go into like a taxi in Jamaica and there's a lot of people there and they want to put more in the taxi, they would be like, small up yourself, or, which means make yourself a little bit smaller so that somebody else can sit beside you. And wagwan, Irie, midaya, you know, where you depan? And where you depan, what are you doing? What are you up to? um Dead with laugh, or may I dead with laugh. It's like somebody give you a joke and you're dying because the joke is so sweet. It's the best joke ever, and you're just lying. You're just you're lying. Anyway, you're just dying because the joke is so sweet. And in the morrows, that means see you tomorrow. You're too licky licky, and you're too licky licky. You're too greedy. You're too craven. Yeah, you eat too much, or you nyam too much, or you too nyami nyami. That means you eat food from everybody. You go everywhere and you take the food and you eat it. So in Jamaica they will call you too nyami nyami. And if you want good, your nose off a run. And it means that if you want to do good and you have to experience some hard times. You have to be able to endure hard times, and eventually things will be successful. So we're moving on to the next slide. And which there are some additional ones here, which is me owl but me no cowl is me owl but me no cowl. And every mickle make a muckle. Sorry for Magadog, turn around, bite you. Sorry for Magadog, turn around, bite you means that you take somebody, you see somebody and they're, unhappy. They might need food, they might need clothes, and you take them and you help them. But eventually they deceive you. And that's what that saying comes from. Sorry for Magadog, turn around, bite you. Dopino ufe frighten. The older the moon, the brighter the shine. Hag say the first dirty water him catch him wash. 1 year man a king in a blind man country. Cockroach no business in a fall fight. And gonna whatever, if you need the meanings of any of these, again, you can put it in the comment section and I'll definitely check it and tell you the meanings of any of these that I didn't translate here. Okay, so we'll move on to the next slide. And this is Nyamitop, and this is a folk song that I'm going to introduce to you again. I'm going to read this folk song because I'm not a singer, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm going to introduce this folk song, and we'll get the translation on the next slide. Before me married and go hug up a mango tree, me will live so me one. Before me married and go hug up a mango tree, me will live so me one. I just month before last the girl Liza married and she she I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I was abstaining. Okay, I just month before last the girl Liza married and she maga, you see, every night as she one day a yard. She no see him She not see him till daylight. Poor Liza, her husband no give her a cent, and she have to pay the rent. She have to find money for buy food and clothes and for mind the picnic rose. Me say before me married and hug up, before me married and go bite me finger, me will live so me want. And this is just a repeat of the I guess this is the chorus. um Me say before me married and go bite me finger, me will live me so me will live so me one. Sometimes these are very difficult to read, and that's what Patwah is about. Speaking it is easier, sometimes it's very difficult to read. So I'll move on to the next slide, which will give the meaning of the folk song that I just repeated on the previous slide. Um, I would not want to be married and then have to hug up a mango tree. I would rather live alone. I would not want to be married and then have to hug up a mango tree. I would rather live alone. It is just a month before last, Liza got married, and now she's very slim. So Maga, slim. Maga, slim. That's what, when somebody say to you in Patwah, you maga, it means you're slim. Okay. At least you learn that from this lesson. Every night she is home alone. He does not come home until daylight. And the poor Liza does not get any money from her husband, and she has to pay rent. She has to find money to buy food and clothes and to look after her child, Rose. Before I get married and have to bite my finger, I will live alone. And that's what that folk song is saying to us. And again, if there are some words in the previous slide which I haven't dealt with, then I'll give you the meaning in the comment section if you do ask. I'll go back to the previous slide, and it has words like finger, which is fingers. Words like go is go. Gyal, which is gyal, means girl. Um, and I think this is pretty simple. There is a lot of English words within this, so you can maybe understand most of it. Er, which is is her in standard English. Yard, um, in standard English, we're talking about yard, Y-A-R-D. And we'll just move on. We're talking about we, which is W-I. In standard English is W-E, we. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next slide. And the next slide has to do with Spit It Out, where I give you a chance to comment if you're here and if you're on the live, or if you're watching it later on, where you can make comments and, maybe um, talk about, good afternoon, Miss James, how are you? Just so that you joined. Good afternoon. Do you have a comment for me? This is the time when you can. I like sorry for Magadag. Magadag turn around bite you. Those are those are people for you. Yeah, right. I like that too. And we don't want to be around people like those, right? We need to be around people who are positive. We need to be around people who you help them and they appreciate you and are appreciate other people, or just move on peacefully, right? They shouldn't be biting you, right? Right, Veli? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but yes, Maga Slim, Maga Dog means somebody who needed help, and at the moment you help them, but then they turn around and deceive you. So yes, and is there any more comment, or should I move on? I like when you comment. At least I know I'm being joined by other people and I'm able to, talk to you during this lesson. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm noticing that nobody else is commenting. So we're going to go to Spit It Out. And if you have any questions, now is the time to do it. And so I'll go ahead and ask you some questions. And if you wish, you can respond here, or you can actually respond later. And you can respond later. I'm just opening up my page so that I can see what's going on. Okay, so now, okay. Yes, yes, thank you. I will move on. So now we'll go into Spit It Out. Have you ever heard any of the popular Jamaican saying mentioned in Warm It Up session? If so, let me see you put them in the comment section. And I'm talking about the first slide that I did that called it's Warm It Up. Have you ever heard of any of those sayings? And if so, let me know. And what is your favorite popular Jamaican saying? And I get that from Veli. She said that she liked sorry for Magadag, turn around, bite you. And if I can see some more. Also, to any Ghanaians who might be here now or later, is Jamaican Patwah similar to Chi? I just want someone to answer that for me. And did you learn any new words from this week's lesson? And what is your favorite Brian Nancy and Tukuman story? And these are stories that were told by from generation to generation. These were stories that were passed down from generation to generation. Um, and we'll move on to the next slide. And it's Gimme More. And this is just a little brief thing that I put together just a couple of minutes ago. And I'm going to maybe you just read it in, it's between Patois and English together. And so that if anything, you guys can understand what I'm saying a little bit. Me understand, say, the Akan people them in Ghana have a great influence on the Jamaican patois. Let me know more about the Akan language and people in the comment section. And we can learn more about Brian Nancy and Tucumán this week. And me, I go ask Uno for share some Nancy stories. Me learned last week say waki from Ghana is the same as rice and peas in the Caribbean. Where you are right now in the diaspora, share some Uno food here. You sabi, and that's a Chromanti language and or deep Patwah, and it means you understand. Okay, so I'm asking you to share some of your food here, and I'm asking if you understand, and I'm trying to learn Chromanti in the meantime. So you sabi, which means um, in standard English, you understand, or in Patwah, you understand. And this is the end of the lesson. And just want to say thank you again to the Amamanson Network, Acusia, and thank you to whoever who joined us today. Hope to see you next week and have a good week. All right. Bye bye. Take care.